Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you today with another edition of Stout Sunday. All right, and joining me this morning, we have Mr. Michael Cormoroff, the Stout King from Brooklyn. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, John. Good to see you again.
Glad to have you back. Getting back to the regular routine here, slowly but surely. We've got Mr. Jean-Pierre in Georgia, close to Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Jean.
Top of the morning, everyone.
Top of the morning. And Mr. Robert, the Whiskey Scout, who I believe is still in. Are you in Kansas right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't recognize your background. I know sometimes you have the whiskey behind you, and I know you've been doing like different.
Yeah, we moved
road trips. Right.
Yeah.
I just know you've been on the road a lot, so I didn't know if you were home or.
Yep, I'm home.
All right, good deal. So thanks to Mr. Ronald J. Terrio, who was not here with us this morning. I think he had baseball or something he had to do. But he has been hosting a lot in my absence. So special shout out to Mr. Ronald J. Terrio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. And cheers to Ronnie S., who's in the chat. He says he's a boy in YouTube land watching. So cheers to you, Ronnie. All right, let's go ahead and get right into what we're drinking this morning. We'll start with you, Michael. What beer do you have today?
Okay, it's from RAR Brewing, and this one was brewed in Cambridge, Maryland. I said Massachusetts. It's Cambridge, Maryland, and it's called First Meal Breakfast Stout, and it's 7.5% alcohol, and this was brewed on the 21st of February of this year. And I never had anything from RAR, so this will be my first chance to try something from them. And I misread. I thought it was Massachusetts, Maryland.
Maryland, okay. All right, nice. We've got Jean-Pierre down there who's pouring his beer. So to tell us what you're drinking this morning, Jean.
I am drinking the Left Hand Milk Stout Nitro, 6% ABV. This is from Left Hand Brewing. I've had the Imperial, but this is my first time having the 6% version. So, and I'm pouring it in my glass right now, and there you go.
Very nice. Okay, Robert, what are you drinking this morning?
It's by the brewery, All the Chocolate Cows. I got two of them. I got another one that's cow themed too, but I just picked this one between the two because I don't know, chocolate sounded good this morning. But anyway, it's 13.7% ABV, and
What type of stout?
I love breweries stouts, and so it's a 2021 edition, so
Nice.
we'll be good.
All right. And that leaves me, and I'm drinking a behemoth of a beer this morning. Get back into the swing of things from Three Floyds out of Munster, Indiana. This is the Crushing Mask, kind of a crazy label. It's like a holographic label, some like, tin-eyed dragon lizard thing. Anyway, 15.1%. So it's a barrel aged. It doesn't specify what barrels they use. It just says barrel aged with coffee. So we will see. I think it's bourbon barrels, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Could just be regular old whiskey barrels. All right. So got some interesting sounding beers this morning. We've got Jason Cleveland in the chat as well. Good morning to you, Jason. So let's go ahead back around and we will pull up Michael and let him tell us about his RAR.
RAR, Cambridge, Maryland. I will give it a pour here in a big glass so I can get it all in. Let's describe what we got here. Dark brown bordering on black. You can't see through it. Nice creamy head. Let's see, what else can I see? A lot of carbonation coming up. I can see it through the side, even though you can't see through it. Through the very sides, you can see the carbonation coming up. Looks like a nice beer.
All right.
Should I go through my full description?
Yeah, why not? We got a smaller group. Just go through all of your initial impressions.
Okay.
If you want.
Lots of coffee on the nose. Let's see. There's some sweetness as well. The coffee is fairly intense. So the coffee is the first flavor or the first note smell that I'm getting. And it's over everything else. Do you want me to taste this now too or not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Why not?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow. This is like, if you don't like coffee, this is one to stay away from. But the coffee is so nice, and I don't know what kind of coffee they use. You might have to look it up because it's not on the can. But whatever it is, it's some really nice coffee that they're using in this beer. You're getting kind of a breakfasty thing. Also, there's some sweetness, maybe some maple syrup.
Wow.
But coffee is the star. And the carbonation is really nice. It's lively, and it makes you want to go for another sip. The alcohol is really well masked at 7.5%. Tastes, like a session beer. Medium mouthfeel to the low end. I'm very impressed with whatever kind of coffee they're using in this, because what it's done. And I like coffee and beer, so this would be one that I like. They've made the coffee the star of this beer, and yet there's this residual sweetness that's coming from, I don't know what. It could be from maple syrup. It could be something else. But they're making it kind of like breakfast in a glass. And I'm going to keep sipping on it, and early impressions are very good.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of times when you get those breakfast stouts, or at least in my experience, not a lot well, sometimes, like with maple syrup, it can really get very sweet very fast and be cloying and not so good. So it sounds like there's a nice balance of flavor there, which is nice. All right, let's go to Jean-Pierre with his left-hand milk stout nitro.
Hey guys, excuse me. Yes, the left-hand milk stout nitro. And let me just say, I misspoke. I did, and sometimes when I do my videos, I have to go back and say, wait a minute, I think I might have done this. And sure enough, just while Michael was talking, I had to look back, and yes, I did do a review of this. But I also did the the Gallic Nitro Imperial Stout. That's the one I had done. So those are the two. So I've had this beer before. So. Anyway, 6% ABV. It mentions 2-row malts, 2-row crystal, chocolate, Munich, royal oats, and flake barley, and roasted barley. It has malts in this, and CTZ, and U.S. Goldings hops. 25 IBUs, and it mentions a description here of coffee, brown sugar, and vanilla cream. And mostly I'm getting is that chocolate and vanilla cream, not the brown sugar, as they mentioned. So there's a slight little coffee sent into this, but mostly the chocolate and the cream. So take a glass. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, John.
Cheers.
That nice creamy looking head on there too.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
It's real good.
I had more.
There is that, okay, as I mentioned, there's that chocolate, there's that vanilla cream, there's a little brown sugar on the tongue, and a little bit of coffee on the tongue as well. Definitely creamy for sure, as you can see. I mean, not bad for 6%. Again, it's been a while since I think I reviewed this a year ago. When I was in Mobile, around it, a year and a half, I believe. Yeah, this is good. Again, more of that nice chocolate, a little coffee, a little brown sugar, but the heavy on the cream, and it is lactose, so not too bad. This is a good, I won't say session, but this is a good stout to introduce someone to who has never had a milk stout before, which tends to be a good balance of creaminess, sweetness, but it's not a very dry, bitter finish in the end. So, but yeah, this is very enjoyable. So,
All right.
I'll come back.
Nice. You're making it sound a lot better. I'm going to have to pick that up again. It's been a while since I've had it. The brown sugar and the nice chocolate. Yeah, it sounds really good.
For some reason, I thought it was higher ABV than that.
So, well, I thought so too when I bought it, but then I saw the 6%. I said, okay, that's a little but their Gallic one is their Imperial. That's I believe is at 9%. I believe it is.
Yeah.
I've had that before. I know I have. I just like you. I don't remember it. I remember the name, but I just don't remember.
Right. All right. Sounds good. We'll come back around here shortly. We gotta go to Robert with his all the chocolate cows. Sounds amazing. I love the brewery, so I'm sure it's gonna be awesome.
Bourbon barrel aged imperial milk stout with milk, sugar, Madagascar vanilla beans, and cacao nibs. So, and it doesn't list any ABUs on it, so, but we do know the price.
Hey, that's
a lot.
Yeah, that's the brewery. So,
and again, Robert, thank you again. What you sent me a couple of a while back, man. I was still like, man.
I wish I would
here, but it's only 14%. We can get. I think that's the highest alcohol.
Oh, that's right. The you talking about the Where Is the Lava? He sent you. Yeah, that was an awesome.
Robert, thanks for mine too.
wait a minute. I have to remember. No, I don't think I sent anything to New York. Did I? Did I send you something?
Yes, you did.
A while back. It's going back early in the year.
Same time you said, John, I got to Where Is the Lava too.
Okay, yeah. Well, if your name was on the list, I sent several out.
Yep.
I sent one to Bumpy, and Bumpy was supposed to give the one to John. I sent one to Jean, one to John, Bumpy. I didn't remember. I'm sorry, Michael. I forgot. I poured this. Let's look at it real quick for us.
I still didn't drink it. I still have it.
Good. You'll like it when you do, I think.
It's a safe bet.
It's a steady. Last week, Sticky Nanners, not Manners. I keep saying Manners. Sticky Nanners, that head was carbonated and it died very quickly, and it was a little lesser ABV. This one's staying pretty intact, just about one finger. I mean, it's starting to dissipate some. It doesn't have the carbonation the last one did. You cannot see through it. You can hold it to the light. It's totally opaque. You're not going to see anything, nothing translucent, transparent coming through. Not even on the edges. So, anyway. I get barrel up front. I get kind of that oaky, woody, a little cherry note to it. That barrel gives off sometimes. Gives you a little bit of a slight cherry note to it. A little darker fruits coming with that barrel note. And then chocolate.
Mm.
It's a sweeter chocolate. Think milk chocolate. Don't think baker's chocolate or the high 87% cacao and that kind of stuff. Not at all. Maybe just a hint of vanilla, but not much. Not in the nose anyway. Mostly chocolate and that barrel note, and that really does shine through on it. Yeah, they add milk sugar to it, so yeah, you're going to get kind of more of that. Milk chocolate note. Okay, guys, that's pretty much what I get in the nose. The barrel note's nice, though. It's bringing a lot of little subtle changes through it. So it does have that. Cheers, fellas.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Balanced. First word, balanced. The barrel balances with the chocolate. The vanilla comes through even more. I'm still getting those barrel notes. They're not using a very charred barrel for it. I'm not getting none of the char. I'm getting more of a subtle, not subtle, but more of a fresh oak note. That's the word. More of a fresh oak note coming with it. You're getting that. You're getting still that kind of that cherry bourbon, that cherry note you get in bourbons. That's coming through in this. The vanillas show up much more now. There's that figgy note, this slight figgy note coming through now. Again, tribute that to the barrel. And I don't know. I don't always get figgy notes when I'm drinking whiskey. It's pretty, I mean, and the malted barley whiskeys you get from Scotland, yes, but from bourbons, I don't really, very rarely do I get that kind of that figgy dried fruit notes. I mean, once in a while. But for some reason, when you add beer to those barrels, it'll bring them out more. Don't know why. Just it's something that becomes more noticeable to me. And chocolate, guys. I mean, this thing is chocolate from start to end with the barrel balancing the chocolate out. And the vanillas just kind of come and go as it goes through things. It's not very complicated. It's not overly overwhelming, but it's very good. ABV wise, just the most subtlest of hints of alcohol. Everything else is overriding everything else. Just worth the what I paid, $11.49. Oh yeah. Wouldn't want to make a habit. Probably wouldn't want to drink 3 or 4 in a row. It doesn't have now here.
Unless you're looking for a really good time.
Right. Now, the Sticky Nanners had a really thick, heavy mouthfeel. This one, not so much. It does have some viscosity, some density to it, but it's not nearly as heavy as the Sticky Nanners was last week. It's more, I don't want to use the term watered down because it's not watered down, but it's thinner. It's somewhere between a thin and a medium mouthfeel. We'll just call it medium. But it's there, but it's not that.
Right. Which I like. I mean, you get these really heavy stouts a lot of times, especially 13+% alcohol. And it's got that just really high viscosity and it's almost too much, So it sounds like it's not like a happy medium there.
Yes. I'm really enjoying this one, actually. I expected it to be good, obviously, but I think it's better. It's better than last week's by a long shot.
Jeremy says he wants to know if there's any burnt popcorn notes in there.
No burnt popcorn notes. Thank God.
Well, that's good.
That would be nasty.
It's almost like with beers like this, you don't want it to be so syrupy. And
right.
If it goes above a syrupy level, it starts to detract from the beer. So it's like you want it to be, and you said balanced, so obviously it's not syrupy.
No, this is not. It's a real nice, probably even slightly less than medium on the viscosity scale. It's very drinkable. It's heavy enough, it's there, but it's still quite drinkable. It's not something that sets like a lead balloon on your belly when you drink it, just like, ugh.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Well, that leaves me, I guess.
And this is John's first 3 Floyds he's ever had.
I've never had 3 Floyds. And what better way to start than with a 15.1%? It smells really good. It smells like it's going to be balanced. I'm getting coffee, but it's not too in your face. All right. Well,
I didn't mute it. Oh,
that's okay. Not much of very little head it poured with, which is gone. And as I'm kind of twirling it around, I'm already seeing like alcohol legs. So yeah, very almost liqueur-like appearance because of the alcohol legs and lack of head, but it is jet black. You can't see through it. I see a few bubbles kind of going up the glass, so there is some carbonation in there, which is nice. You don't always get that with these high gravity barrel aged beers. Coffee. There's a chocolate note in there. It's definitely like a dark chocolate note. Probably just from the roasted malt. I don't think there's any chocolate added. It's just the barrel aging and then coffee.
Okay.
Definitely the barrel coming through. It doesn't say bourbon, but that's what I'm picking up on is like a bourbon barrel aged beer. In a lot of ways, it smells like a KBS. It's got the coffee. It's got the chocolate. You're getting the barrel notes. Obviously, this is a lot higher alcohol at 15.1 than a standard KBS, but that's pretty much in a nutshell what I'm picking up on with the aroma.
KBS is 12, I believe, right?
KBS, I think the original KBS is 12. By the way, Maple Mackinac Fudge is back out. Got a 4-pack in the fridge. The 2022 release, so it is back, folks. So you can get it again.
I know 2 places I can get it. I won't pay for the 4-pack. We'll do a single.
Man, so yeah, it smells good. Nice balance of the coffee, the barrel, the chocolate. That's pretty much it. It's I feel like I'm going to get a lot more on the palate, but yeah, it smells really good. No alcohol presence on the nose. It doesn't really smell boozy. You can tell that it's been barrel aged, but it doesn't smell alcohol forward at all. So I'm ready to get into this thing. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that's good. So initially, a lot of coffee, more than what I was expecting from the nose, but it leads into a nice bready center, and then the barrel notes start coming through. I'm getting caramel, toffee. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla. Of course, the chocolate's coming through as well. And it's got is a little bit of astringency, I think, from the coffee, but just the intensity of the roasted malt in here as well. It's very, very roasty, which obviously coffee is roasty too. But I think the combination with the coffee and the roasted malt really, it kind of works. And then on the back end, you swallow it down. There's no warming. There's no indication right now that it's a high alcohol beer.
So it's dangerous.
That's 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, my goodness. This is
At least
super
dangerous
smooth.
cold.
And actually, well, it's been sitting out. We're going on 23 minutes now. So
Okay,
it's been
so it's
sitting
warm
out about half an hour because I had it out before the show started too. So it's been out for half an hour. It's warming up. Okay, as I took that second sip, I'm starting to feel a little bit of the warming going down in the chest, but it is not boozy at all. Wow, this is impressive. This is probably, I mean, it's right up there with KBS, but the higher alcohol and the fact that it's still this well masked, it probably gives it the edge, honestly. The body with this, so similar to what Robert's saying, I would say this is medium. It has everything you want with a high ABV barrel aged stout. It's not super viscous though. It's definitely not thin, but you would expect something like this maybe to be a little thick, a little syrupy, and it's not at all. It's very smooth, easy drinking without being too heavy. Carbonation is actually medium with this, which is shocking. So great carbonation for this type of product. Usually, even like if it's a high ABV beer, you expect maybe some carbonation, but once you put it in that barrel and let it set for a while, a lot of times you just lose out on that carbonation. But with this one, it's retained it very well. I'll keep sipping on it and think of a rating, but it's going to be very high. This is an incredible This is an incredible first Three Floyds beer that I'm having here. Hopefully, I will get to try many more in the future, but I am very impressed with this. And Munster, Indiana Keep up the great work. Not too much coffee. I think that's a key for me because sometimes these coffee stouts, you just get an overwhelming
Yeah.
coffee flavor and then you don't pick up on anything else. This one is very nicely balanced. So good job, Three Floyds. JV says, cheers, Ron. They wouldn't let you join. He says he got banned. That's not true. Ron didn't get banned. By the way, J-Man is he's in Australia, I believe. It's 1:30 in the morning there. And in Australia. So glad you woke up at 1:30 and tuned into the show. And nice group in the chat. Bart Robinson, Jeremy, Ronnie S., Jason Cleveland, all you guys. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay, so we got to go back around and give our final thoughts and ratings on all these wonderful beers. We'll start back with Michael and his RAR.
Okay, I'm still very impressed with the coffee, and it's also balanced as the other beers have been. So they've done a really good job of putting it together. I'm still not sure what the sweetness is, but whatever it is, it's more of a secondary taste. It's not a lead taste.
Well, isn't there, because it's a breakfast stout, does it specify whether or not, I mean, there is maple syrup.
Doesn't say anything on the can. I guess I could do further research.
Oh,
there is,
okay. I just
as
assumed.
you see, there's a coffee cup there.
Yeah.
At the bottom. So coffee is definitely the featured flavor, but it's possible it has something else in there that is giving it a little bit of residual sweetness, but it's not sweet, cloying sweet. It's almost like it's a secondary flavor. The coffee is the lead. If you do not like coffee in beer or in general, steer away from this one because it's mostly coffee, but whatever coffee they're using is exceptional. I mean, it really makes a difference in the taste. And I'm going to give it a high rating, a 96. So it's very good. And this is, like I said, my first RAR. So I'd like to also try more of these. My daughter got this on the Maryland-Delaware border yesterday for me. So
nice.
It gave me a chance not to do a repeat. If you remember last week, I had to do another one of those Trader Joe's beers that I had before because I didn't have. I have plenty of stouts. It's just that I sometimes do not want to do 15.1 on Sunday morning. So
right.
But John's our leader, and we expect that. So he's going to try anything. So
it's interesting, Michael. I was looking at the website really quick. It doesn't say anything. It's a seasonal availability, but on the website, it's listed at 9.5%, not 7.5. So they obviously change it up every year.
Right. So maybe there's a different one. Sometimes it's 7.5. Sometimes it's higher. Would be more imperial. Even 7.5 though is pretty high.
Right. So this is their website. So it makes me think that so is your can, is there a date on the can? How old is it?
It said it was brewed February 22.
Oh, so that's this year. Okay. Maybe they just haven't updated the website with this year's.
That could have been last year's example.
Right.
Maybe they changed the ABV a little bit. But this goes highly recommended. And if you see at least this RAR beer, I would give it a shot. It may just be available in the Northeast, though. In other words, it might be something.
No, I've had a RAR, not a stout. I don't know which one. I can't remember, but I have a distinct memory of having an RAR.
Okay, so maybe it has some distribution in the Midwest as well. But
well, now I could have picked it up in Louisiana or Texas.
Okay, it could be somewhere else in the country. But my daughter was lucky enough to get it, and they had 4 packs of it. So she said, "Should I get you 2?" And I said, "Sure." And I gave one to my son-in-law, so he'll give me what he thinks of it as well.
Nice. All right, so you said 96, right?
96.
All right. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Okay. Jean-Pierre, we got to go back to you with your left-hand nitro milk stout.
Yeah. Very enjoyable. I liked it. And again, I had to go back to some of these reviews and remind myself, I did this review already. So, sometimes I tend to forget, I have to bring my phone with me when I go to the store. Okay, make sure that I review this, did I not review this, so. But it'll probably be deserving another rehash. I have another can or I'll probably give it to my brother. He likes all these different things I give him all the time. He had some things I've given him he's never tried before. So I say, here, try it. See if you like it. But as far as the stout, I'm gonna go 91 out of 100. This is a good, enjoyable. At 6%, is nothing. It's everything kind of is a nice balance of everything you want in a stout. Sweet, won't get you a little tipsy, whatever, like these imperials that I like. But good enough to do the job. But 6%. The nice flavor of chocolate and there's vanilla cream in there and a little coffee, a little brown sugar, but a real good balance with all those flavors. So 91 out of 100.
Very nice. All right, Robert.
I'm looking through the RAR website because I know I've had one. I don't remember which one. Just one. And I know it wasn't a stout. I do remember that much about it, but I'm not recognizing any of these cans off the top of my head. All right. Back to my beer, though. This is better than Sticky Nanners with the bananas last week. It has less flavor profile probably than that, but what it does much better. Everything is so well balanced. You want to take that next sip. And when I want to take that next sip, a lot of times I really enjoy this. That's the best way to put it. One of the better that I've had of chocolate flavored stouts, period. Probably, if not the best chocolate flavored stout I've ever had. I'm going to give it a 98 out of 100. Something for Michael too to note, as we get in the tail end of the finish, some of the roasted malts are showing up a little better. But it doesn't come really around till it's like the tail end of the finish. I get some bitterness coming back through and some of those roasted dark, almost a coffee note to it, but that's at the very tail end. This is not, it's just the last thing you're getting before it all dissipates. So yes, I enjoy this. Was it worth the $11.49? Yes, but do I want to do that every day? No, but once in a while, it was a good treat.
How does it compare to because you said one of the best, the chocolate stouts, the Floor's Lava, the one you sent around, chocolate lava cake, and I mean, that was awesome. So how does it compare to that one?
That had a lot of cherry, though. That had a lot of cherry coming through with it.
Okay.
The cherry that's showing up in this is just that little bit of that cherry note is just barrel effect. So we're not actually having any cherry coming through in there. So I kind of judge it on a little different thing. I'm getting German chocolate cake with that. And I love that. That's German chocolate cake's my favorite dessert. And then when you put a little bit of that cherry topping over top, oh my God. I mean, it didn't get no coconut, obviously, in it, but that heavy duty German chocolate is just awesome with cherry on it.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, John. It's much different. It's not the same. It's really good though. I mean, I don't know.
Do you have a preference?
Like a lot.
Do you have a preference? You like that one? You think a little bit better than the?
This is less sweet overall, less sweet. So I think that you could probably drink more of this, whereas the lava was a little thicker than this too.
Okay.
For me anyway. I think it's mood driven. There's days
I'm just trying to live vicariously through you because I've had the one and I'm just trying to, like here.
I buy them all in Kansas City and I buy them when I see them. That's the best I can really do with that. I'm trying to look back now and see where's the lava. I gave it a 89.91. So yes, I do like this one much better.
Oh wow, that is a pretty significant drop. I was thinking your ratings were both like 97, 98, like right there. I didn't realize you gave that one a much lower score. So okay,
yeah, I gave it a 91, then 98, but I think some of that has to do with the sourness, that heavy sourness that came along with it. This is much better. Yes, I have to.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it. I remember that was one of the things I really liked about the lava, the Floor's Lava is the sour, that tart note from the cherry.
Yeah.
Michael and I have talked about this before too, like the Bourbon County, the year that they had all the sour stouts, or the infected batches, and I feel like I would have really loved some of those infected Bourbon Counties.
I would have tried. Yeah. I like them. Don't get me wrong. But this one, I think the Where's the Lava was unique. It was different kind of stout. It had a lot of stuff going on. This is more, I don't know. This is more standard in some ways. It's more drinkable. It's more balanced, and I think I like that about this. So yes, I do like it better. If I had to pay $11.49 for both, and that's all I had, I'm probably going to buy this before the Where's the Lava.
Right. Okay.
So.
The brewery actually has a line called the Brewery to Row, and they make a sour stout. If you ever see it, it's worth a try. They sell it in the bigger bomber bottles usually. At least this is years ago when I bought it, but they still make it. It's called Tart of Darkness, and it is a sour stout. Doesn't have any fruit or anything added. It's just they soured it, and it's really good.
I would try it. I would.
I
Not
know.
much comes close to those coconut stouts we've had though.
Oh yeah, the coconut macaroons, and yeah, those are really good.
Me and you both agree that's that coconut, and I know you love it. I love it.
Yeah.
There's just not enough of it around. There's not enough breweries that brew it with coconut.
Mm-mm.
Right. Well, and it's that stuff I think is more limited edition because it's from their bakery series.
Yep.
So yeah,
I've never even seen it. I've never seen that one.
I'll be honest with you, John. I've yet to open the one you sent me. That's because it's one of those things I know when I open it, I'm never getting it.
Right.
You look at it and you go.
Right. I think too, because they changed the recipe. The one you haven't opened is the higher alcohol one, right?
I still got one of each.
One of each, because they changed it. It was like 13.1, I think, one year, and then 10.5 the next. The 13.1 is a little bit better. I think they're both awesome though.
Yeah. Someday I got to break down and do that.
You need a special occasion.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what I need. I need the nuts to just do it. I'll be honest. I just, when you never get it again, you just kind of always got that sort of thing in your head going, once you drink this is never going to happen again.
Right.
But you do at least have two of them.
No, I have one of my old ones still left, and I have one that John sent me.
Okay, but I'm saying you still have two. So you have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John wanted me to do a comparison between the two. So maybe one day when I know he's hosting this again in the morning, we'll have an extra long morning.
There you go. Hey, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, I think I still have to give my rating. We've got everybody. Yeah, everybody but me. So the Three Floyds, Crushing Mass. This is awesome stuff. I'm not really a huge coffee guy, when it comes to my barrel-aged stouts, my imperial stouts, just in general. I like just the straight barrel-aged or other flavors that aren't as strong as coffee. But they did a really good job with this one with the balance. It's got just enough bitterness, just enough sweetness, just enough of the barrel without being boozy. Other than the slight warming going down, you really cannot tell. I would never guess that this is 15.1. If I had to guess, I would say like 8%. It definitely doesn't drink like a 15.1. I'm going to go with a 98 out of 100, which for me just falls right into that world-class range. I'm docking at 2 points just because I like Bourbon County better. I like some of the straight bourbon barrel-aged non-coffee stuff. So that's just more of a personal preference thing. If you gave it a 99 or 100, I wouldn't fault you one bit because it is world-class. It's awesome, awesome stuff. And I would highly recommend it. I think the bottle was $10, which is honestly for 15.1% barrel-aged beer, it's a steal for the value that you're getting because it's incredible. And I can't wait to try some more of their beers. I saw 3 or 4 of them the other day, but at $10 a bottle, I figured I'd try one because I'd never had their stuff, make sure I liked it. And then now that I know I like their stuff, I'm going to go back and buy some of the other stuff that they had to offer. So anyway, let's see. Elbow is in the chat. Cheers to you, Elbow.
Hey, yes. I haven't seen him in a while either.
All right. So let's go back around. If anybody has any show and tell or shout outs, we can do that really quick before we wrap it up. Michael, you want to start?
Okay, I was going to say, beside the RAR that my daughter got me, the other thing that seemed interesting at the time she was there, and she's just talking. She doesn't go on her camera and actually show it to me, so I have to read in. She tells me the ABV and she tells me what they are, and sometimes if they're IPAs, she tells me when they were brewed or what the best buy date is, because there was something there in an IPA from 2017.
Oh boy.
And what I said is, you should bring it up to the front and tell the guy that he should just throw this right in the garbage, because it has, I don't care what it is, it can't have any hop feeling, in 5 years. So it's
unless it's super high ABV and it would have turned into maybe a barley wine.
Yeah, if you want it, but that's different. That's not what they were really trying. But I also, this was only, I guess I'll show you the bottle. This is a 16.9 ounce bottle from a brewery called Four Hands. Anybody had any Four Hands stuff?
No, never heard of it.
St. Louis, Missouri. And
let me see the logo again.
It might be an InBev product, possibly.
Can you see it?
I see it.
Yep.
I may have seen it and not recognized it. I just don't
possible,
remember.
and maybe they have different logos too. This just says Four Hands. It is in Missouri, which is a bordering state to Kansas, so maybe you can get it. This is their Cuvée Angel, Ange, not Angel, ANGE, and it has a souring component. So I know John would be interested.
Ooh, okay. And what's the ABV on it?
5.5.
9.5?
5.5.
So okay.
5.5. So it's just over session, and this is like a pint plus the 0.09. It's a
16.9 ounce bottle.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's 500 milliliters, and it was $5. But I figure it this way: it's different, and why you only live once. So I told her to pick this up,
right?
And we'll see how that turns out. I looked it up on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, and it was at least rated, very good. So hopefully it'll turn out to be good. I'm happy, John, you're back hosting. Not that Ron didn't do a great job, and
right. No, he did a great job, and he probably will host a few more. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with it now that don't have a lot of the extracurricular activities going on right now, but in another month or so, it's all going to start back up. So we'll enjoy it while we can.
But to be fair, I did not attend most of those sessions that Jay did. I just got to watch the play.
Right, you had quite a beach season.
We would just leave if we didn't leave by 10:30. We would definitely leave where I had to do other stuff before I could be on Stout Sunday. So I really didn't.
You had a nice year too. I remember last year you had a lot of rainouts and stuff like that.
This was a really like a barbecue-y kind of summer with a lot of really nice weather, and it's sad when it ends, but it's like anything else, and it's funny how some of the people from the beach club are already counting down the months till the end of next May when it starts again. But we're on the short side of it. But look, we hope that this next season that we're going into this winter is not awful, that it's just cooler weather but not a lot of snow, and a good season. But I'm hoping to attend Stout Sunday pretty much every week, unless I have other stuff that comes up in between. And I'll try to come to some of the other shows. I guess the problem I'm having with the other stuff, Bumpy's Monday show, I really sometimes don't have a new beer. I really don't. I mean, I'm not saying that means I'm so experienced that I can't find anything I haven't tried. It's just that sometimes it's hard to find something.
Yeah.
And the Tuesday thing with the beer and cheese, it depends on what they're doing. Sometimes they do these mixes of stuff together, and I have trouble finding the cheese or finding, what they're doing. But look, it's not like I won't. The wild card stuff on Wednesday and Jay's show on Wednesday, maybe I can get to one of those. Those are more wide open because it's wild card, or some of Jay's stuff is hard to find sometimes, the stuff that
right. And I think too, also now that you're back in the mix, I know we used to do a lot of the Wednesday night stuff. We'll start to come up with some more ideas for after the wild card. Like 8:30 start times, 9 o'clock. Stouts, porters, barrel. Different. We'll pick specific. All right, bring a double IPA or bring a barrel aged stout or bring anything 8%. We'll start doing that again. And of course, anybody's invited. But yeah, Michael and I kind of come up with these things and just hey, what are you doing Wednesday night after 8:30?
And I think Audrey likes those better because I hang out with her first and then I leave, but I'm only gone for an hour and a half.
Right. And 8:30 is always good for me too, because on Wednesdays I'm usually busy, but I'm by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm home, and if I'm not in the bed, I'm drinking a beer. So
Okay, I look forward to doing some of those again for sure.
Right. So
I remember the one y'all did. We all did together, the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout. And,
I'm sure there's gonna be some more.
One. Yeah,
I'm always looking. Michael and I are always looking for an excuse to do a Bourbon County examination. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more of those. I know Robert likes the Bourbon County stuff. So Founders Bourbon County, expect a lot of that stuff down the line. We got the new Mackinac Fudge out 2022. Maybe we'll do a 2022 version Mackinac Fudge examination or something. Who knows?
Like I said, I got a lot of great spots here that I can get singles, not only at the Total Wine in Brookhaven, where Michael was at, also Local Vine. There's 2 local vines here as a new liquor store. They have really nice, kind of looks eerily like Total Wine, but it's a good stuff. You get some singles, do this and do that, and it's a pretty neat little store over in Johns Creek here in Georgia. So
the only thing I got to say to JV's comment is, does he have enough guts to show his face on here and wear his Arkansas hat? We both got thumped.
Okay.
We both got thumped.
It was not a good day for Oklahoma. Definitely not a good day for Arkansas. Yeah.
We ain't got many good days left, guys.
Even with Bryce Young out for Arkansas, and Bryce Young out for Alabama, Arkansas still got thumped.
I'm an Auburn fan and a Miami Dolphins fan, and all things considered, this is not a bad year for us so far.
But John, you have this.
But it's a long season.
You have this Tua controversy now. Your quarterback, he's getting his head beat against the ground, and they let him keep coming out. It's insane.
It is. The NFL, it really looks bad for the NFL that they don't seem to care about player safety that much. And Tua has a history of injury. But you know what? I like Teddy Bridgewater coming. I like our backup. He came in there and looked good. We lost the game, but it was promising. Anyway, I don't think – and we don't need to get into all this because this is Stout Sunday. But, yeah, I don't think Tua is the long-term answer to the Dolphins because he's injury-prone and he's a smaller guy, and he just keeps getting the crap beat out of him every time he steps on the field.
You need better offensive linemen to protect the quarterback. Not that I can say anything because the Giants' offensive line has been
How is that? I didn't even know.
Tua's had this problem. Tua's had this problem since he was at Alabama. Tua was always a little bit on the fragile side, even though
that's why he came in there at the end and won. Like he didn't play the whole game when they won the national championship.
Yep.
They had Jalen Hurts in there, and then they put him in at the end. And they came back and won. He's not a.
But then you look at same thing. Then you look at the SEC championship game. Same thing kind of happened. Tua was out. Jalen came in. They were able to beat Georgia, and then they got in the playoffs, and Georgia found their way back in the playoffs again. And Jalen Hurts came and saved the day for. There's a question about Tua's fragility. Durability. I don't know. I hope not. But if this happens again, then it's going to probably say Tua maybe need to step away from football for good.
Yeah. So I'm just this just goes to show you I've been going to bed early, and when I went to bed, Auburn was winning pretty. So it looks like Auburn LSU came back and beat Auburn. So I'm talking about feeling good about the season, and they didn't even win yesterday.
No, I watched that game, and
I watched the first 2.5 quarters, and they were up, and then I went to bed, and I just assumed that they won the game, but I guess not. So anyway, goes to show you it's not always wise to drink 15.1% beers in the morning and then act like you know what you're talking about. But
Okay.
we got to get around. Yeah, Jean, I know you got some show and tell. So
Real quick. Again, John, great to have you back. Of course, Jay did an awesome job. So, Jay, if you're watching, you're going to watch the playback. Thank you again for hosting. I got, like I said, I have the Left Hand Milk Stout Nitro. I'll probably do a rehash, maybe. I'll probably just say, screw it, just give the beer to my brother and let him enjoy it. Yes. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry. Real quick. I got Reformation. Someone's knocked on my door. Reformation Oktoberfest. I got the Harpin Retro Rye IPA. I'll be doing. Those are the 2 beers I'll have. I got more stuff I'm going to get. Again, I'll be back for Stout Sunday. Jay has Wildcard Wednesday coming up at 7:30 Eastern. Whatever that is, bring anything. Joker's Wild, beer, wine, water, soda, whatever. And Fandango Friday on Jay's channel, liquor and liqueurs, 6:30 Eastern on that. And John, I'll see you next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern for Stout Sunday. So we'll take her see what the hell this is about. So
nice. So, Robert, do you have anything you want to?
Yeah, I didn't tell you the date on this. This is 6/23 of 21, and I actually bought this like 4 or 5 months ago. So it's been on the shelf for quite a while. But at $11.49, it's not going to sell fast, even in Kansas City. This is the one I passed on, so we could. I just felt like more chocolate today, and it literally says bourbon barrel aged imperial milk stout with milk, sugar, Madagascar, vanilla beans. It just doesn't have the chocolate component to it. Funny thing is, exactly the same date, 6/23. If I can rotate it around so everybody can see it, 6/23 of 21.
So it's funny, Robert, that came off the same place in the breweries. They probably brewed the same. It's probably the same base beer. They just add extra chocolate to the other one.
13.7% too.
Okay,
nice.
So add extra chocolate. So, it'll be interesting when you taste that one to see what the difference is, because you get straight base beer in that one.
Provided everything stays the same, next Sunday I will bring this one on. That's the plan.
Nice. All right.
Anyway,
so I've got one thing. So obviously, I had the announcement. I'm not going to go grab it out of the fridge, but you guys all know about the Maple Mackinac Fudge. Back again for 2022. Very excited about that. Had one the other night. Really enjoyed it. I might try to cellar a couple this time because I never thought I was going to get it again. But obviously, backed by popular demand, it was probably the best-selling variant of KBS, and it was my favorite.
It was. I enjoyed it last year.
It definitely beat out the cinnamon vanilla cacao. It definitely was better than the hazelnut was good. I really like that one, but you can't beat the fudge. I mean, the fudginess is undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made with artificially flavored fudge coffee. But you know what? I could care. I could care less. Some people that seems to bother, but it doesn't taste artificial. Anyway,
what's the highest ABV in Massachusetts? How high is the ABV for beer?
The sky's the limit.
Awesome.
15.1 for this one. Another one that may be close to 20. This is my show and tell. I found a new worldwide stout I've never heard of before. It's called Wake Up Worldwide Stout.
Okay.
That's with coffee, right?
It's with ingredients. It has an ingredients list: malted barley, organic Nicaraguan Finca Terrorito cold pressed coffee, oat milk solids and hops, cinnamon and dextrose, and organic maple syrup. So the first thing I thought of when I read those ingredients was CBS: coffee, maple syrup,
cinnamon.
It's a high alcohol. It's got the cap on it. Drink with care. No ABV disclosed on the label, which means that it's between 15 and 20%.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
I have got to make a dedicated run looking for that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've never heard of this one, but it's got to be new. I mean,
It's new. Doug tried it. Doug, Giant Space Monkey, but I'm not going to say what he said.
All right.
No, you have to take John. You have to taste it yourself.
I will. Yeah, no, I'm very, very excited to try this. So that's my show and tell. And King of the Dots is in the chat now. Jeremy, everybody, man, we had a great chat today. Just appreciate everybody stopping by. I know it's been a while since I've done this, so it wasn't like a big announcement that I was going to be doing this today. I think I just posted something yesterday or a couple days ago saying I'd be doing this. So nice of everybody to show up. Glad to have Robert, John. Michael back with us. Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Quick question.
Yeah.
The Maple Mackinac Fudge, I was just looking up my old score for it. What was the ABV on the new one? Is it the same?
It's 11%. Yeah.
Oh, this was 13% in 2020.
I've never had a third. I've always had the 11%.
Cable. My notes show it was a 13% ABV for the 2020. Now that's 2 years ago.
Right, but they didn't make it in 2021. That's why I was excited that it came back. The one that maybe they had two different versions, but the one that I had in 2020 was also 11%. That could have been, that was back in Georgia. The ABV stuff's a little different down there. Maybe
that's true.
So maybe it would have been 13% if I had bought it up here. But yeah, the one that I got with the new label and everything is 11%.
Well, I'll pay attention, but I'm not saying I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I'm prone like everybody else, but usually that's pretty spot on. I don't really.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's like Bourbon County. You get 14.7. In a couple of years, they had 14.7 in some areas, and then they had 15.2, which I never got the 15.2, unfortunately. I've been looking for that 15.2 Bourbon County for years. And now that I live up here, I might be able to find an old like a 2018, 2019, 15.2, because I do see a lot of the older years around up here, but I have never, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the 15.2 Bourbon County, but that's like on my bucket list of.
Not sure. They had 4 old Bourbon Counties left at this liquor store here just by my house here in Newton. I was in there the other day and they only had 2 left. They had the 2019 and the 2021 version. I don't remember which ones, but I think I got both. So I didn't purchase them, but I noticed they've sold 2 of them since 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured they with mines in the liquor store. I have one right here. They got the remaining of the Goose Island Bourbon County. I think they have quite a few bottles left, but they're still selling at the same price. I figured, they would at least cut the price down. At least maybe, I don't know, 12.
They usually don't cut it down.
No, they said no.
They let it sit for a long time.
$19.99 a bottle here at this little liquor store. That's why I haven't bought it.
$13.99 for mine. So that's
one negative thing about living in New York is it sells through and then that's it. You don't see any more sitting on the shelf. There's just too much population of beer drinkers, and they just buy up whatever they can get. And
John,
that's the way it is.
And John, just to say, I haven't had the KBS, the KBS fudge, but I did have the hazelnut. I did have the espresso, and the
right. I forgot about the espresso.
The espresso, and of course, the original, and the cinnamon vanilla cocoa stout. That was last year.
They're supposed to be coming out with, I don't know, maybe because the Maple Mackinac Fudge came back out again this year, they postponed it, but they're supposed to be coming out with a chili pepper infused KBS, which I'm really looking forward to, but I haven't heard anything about it in the last 3 or 4 months. It was all the hype, though, back in like April. They were talking about it.
John was talking about the cinnamon one. I've never had that one. I seen it on the shelf. I didn't buy it. By the time I got back, it was gone.
Decent.
It's good, but it's not
more vanilla flavored than the cinnamon. More vanilla and cocoa. The cinnamon was there, but not as much overly. It didn't overpower the cocoa and the vanilla. So, that was good.
John, do you remember when we did the biscotti break from Evil Twin, and you did the cinnamon, and I did the standard one, and we decided
I did the chili hazelnut,
the chili one,
and you did the standard.
And I did the standard one. And I haven't seen the chili one again. I can still get the standard one.
I haven't either. I see the Even More Jesus and the standard biscotti break all the time. I think honestly, that was a limited. They may never bring that one back. It was just like a special edition version.
Those are available in the food co-op all the time. Those are the 2 they have, and they have some other Evil Twin stuff as well. We have 2 Evil Twin brew pub things.
I've seen some more even the Jesus ones. That you just mentioned. I've seen those lately too, so they must have made another run of those.
That's 12%, and that is really syrupy. If you like those
very
heavy
thick.
motor
Not
oil
bad, but yeah,
Oh, I've
very
had
kind of things, I mean, that's motor oil.
I sent John one, if I remember right, years ago.
which of what?
The Even More Jesus.
From
You
Eagle
did. You sent me a special edition version that was it was like even more Jesus or Mas Jesus. It was like
It was,
inspired.
that was in a bottle. That was in a bottle.
It was in a bottle, so it was a
Yeah.
different. It was different than the one that I had bought in the can in years prior. I don't know where you. Yeah, that was a crazy version of that beer.
That came from a little liquor store up in Salina, Kansas, and I don't know why they had it, but I said, "That's interesting. I'm buying it."
Yeah,
And John, yes, I was in that regular place where I used to get all the Lithuanian beers, and I was able to not buy any. I looked at them and I said, they're good sometimes, they're bad other times. It's not like they're so expensive that I can't try it. It's just that they've done so badly at some of the ones I've done with a group thing where they've said, "What is this?
right.
What's the taste? I don't know what it is." And look, it's you like, and you only have so much exposure you can do with the beers you choose. And I have a lot, so I'm not going to pick up one of these beers and stick it in there when I can give people who are coming something better. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different. And I don't know. I wouldn't say it's well brewed. I would say it's
Morning, Dio.
fancy. I'll be as fair as I can. I've liked some of it though, so I can't say it's all bad, but
Right.
it's very hit or miss. And I don't know why.
Yeah, they're Lobster Lovers 9995. That one's pretty consistent. Some of the ones that like the 15-16%,
Those stuff, when it gets higher, it gets dangerously
Crazy
scary.
Brewski, and like some of the
You know,
ones are,
I know that it can be scary, before and after, which is 12. Sometimes it's good, sometimes
right.
it's not. So, you have to pick and choose.
Remember,
They're
we drink these
that-
at home.
Right.
You definitely have to stay at home. Be careful. You don't want to drive after you've had one because it's high alcohol. It'll get you.
Yeah.
For sure. John, will you be hosting next Sunday?
I should be able to host again next Sunday. For the next few Sundays, I should be able to host. And we'll just take it week by week. But yeah, I will. Unless I can't host, we'll assume that I am hosting. If something comes up, I will leave a comment, and I'm sure Jay will take over. But yeah, I should be able to host for the next few weeks.
I'm going to try to attend every week if I can.
And really quick, we'll go ahead and close this out. But there was a question in the chat by Rob. I just wanted to answer this really quick. So basically, your malt liquor is just your malt, your hops, your water, your yeast. There's not any fancy ingredients in there. It's a little bit more cheaply made than some of your macro lagers like Budweiser and Miller High Life. Not that it's the brewing process is cheaper, but they use cheaper malts, cheaper hops, and then they brew it to get a higher alcohol, which a lot of people consider detrimental because the style doesn't necessarily indicate that it should be that high. Which is why a lot of people find malt liquors to be cloyingly sweet and undesirable. But there's nothing wrong with the price. It's just a personal preference, and it's a style. That's just how they brew it. They don't add a bunch of stuff to bump the price up, which is why you can get malt liquor for pretty cheap. That's my best explanation.
Also, John, that you look at like beers like Annie Gator, even some of these German styles, it's kind of similar to some of the beers that we have here, but it's just another name. It's the same style. It's a Helles Doppelbock.
Oh, like a Helles Doppelbock, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
the name as well.
There's what was it? The Baltica. They had a dark beer that was not dark beer, but it's something similar to a malt liquor that was high in ABV. I think it was 9%. I believe it was. And they got Prolonger, which is sold at Lidl. They had one of their extra strong beers that was at 8%. So it's the same style. It's just labeling and just whatever But
a lot of the marketing that goes into it is they're marketing those types of beers towards lower class as well, so that everybody can enjoy beer, right?
John, one more thought on that line. In one of the last ones we did at the Beach Club, we called it the Last Hurrah. One of the beer tasters who's less experienced, but she keeps trying, she brought the Four Loko Blue Raz. Now,
Oh my God.
it's a beer tasting, and we can't
Now,
pick on her. She saw the 14%, and she probably said, "Well, that's like some of the stuff Michael brings sometimes. It must be, whatever." And when we saw that it was blue, you're seeing it and don't know what it is, and it's sweet and it's cloying,
right.
and we know what it is. It's a vehicle to get you drunk, and it has very little good stuff in it.
That stuff is different than your standard malt liquor because it's artificially flavored and colored, and it's 14%. It's made for, like you said, for the explicit purpose or the sole purpose, I should say, to get you messed up.
See, if she knew her craft beers, she would have just turned around and steered away. But she looked at the ABV and thought that meant that it would be something that would be fitting. And needless to say, I'm just looking at the average that we did.
Should have seen the price and been like, "This is way too cheap to be any good." Like $1.49 for a 24-ounce.
It did horribly, but on the other side, how does she know? But also in the same tasting, she brought Hornell Crazy Stallion, which I'm sure you've seen in those big bottles. I'm sure you've seen Crazy Stallion.
I had it. I bought it when I was in Jersey, and I would say that was probably one of the most atrocious thing I had. But
it's a horrible lager. It's like you take your lager and
said,
say, "We're going to put this in a big bottle." And people who don't
I have never seen Crazy Stallion, but if I ever do, I will buy it and review it.
You should, because you should see what the other has.
Because it's not around down south, but I know up here it's available in
probably find it.
I bought it. I bought it in New York, in New York City, in Brooklyn. I was with a lady friend of mine's, and I bought it. And I visited Thanksgiving last November, and I reviewed it. And I would say, man, that was like one time only for me. That's it.
Right.
And it finished near the back of the tasting, but it wasn't dead last. So it just shows you can always find stuff that can be worse.
That's right.
And it could be quality stuff, because there was something in here from Drowned Lands, which is a good brewery. I've had some of their stuff. It's really good. But it was one of these really low ABV things, 3.5% alcohol, that was done in these foeders. So in other words, sometimes you get classic beers which are meant for a certain audience, and the people in my beer tasting just are not attuned to it. Not that I rated it that high anyway either. I just gave it a 7.25 out of 10 also. So I didn't really like it.
Okay.
It's hard with some, sometimes you lose it can be something where it's got some really eccentric stuff and it goes over your head, and you just, you don't get into the whatever it is, and that's it. I miss not having the Beach Club stuff, but it's interesting. I have one coming up this Thursday with the whole group, the first Thursday of October, which should be interesting. And it depends who ends up coming, because people always back out at the last minute, but I'm hopeful it's a good one. And at the end of the month, I'm going to go to another Stout Fest. Remember?
Nice. The October Stout Fest. Okay.
So they're having one in late October, a few neighborhoods away from me, but it's in Brooklyn, so I can take the subway and come back.
Nice.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
I'll let you know. It's a month away. I'll let you know more when they give us the details on what we have to do. It's usually you have to bring 96 ounces of premium stouts. So they don't accept. You can't bring Trader Joe's stuff. It's the next level. Stuff like we're talking about. Stuff we have. The brewery, Founders, Bourbon County, that kind of stuff. Your stuff would qualify. The stuff you had, John, Three Floyds, any of the really top end stuff.
Right.
Hopefully there'll be enough people at that too, but we'll see. That's a month away.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see the turnout for that, and all the beers you bring and get to bring home with you.
Lots of festivals, a lot of beer festivals going on right now as we're this time.
Oh yeah. Now. Well, it's Oktoberfest too. Yep. Remember, and,
right.
If you're in Europe, good time to be overseas right now, I guess. If you're a big beer drinker.
Long time ago, back in the 80s for me.
Are we going to go off the live feed?
Yes, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks to Michael Kormaroff and Jean-Pierre, Robert the Whiskey Scout, for joining. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Had some great comments, good discussion in the chat. Appreciate all you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. And we'll see you right here all next Sunday at 10:30 Eastern on Georgia Beer Reviews, hopefully. That's all I got. So great stouts today. You can see the ratings on the bottom. If you tuned in late, I think the lowest score was a 91. So I'd say that's pretty good for all of these awesome Bears we had today. So enjoy your football, enjoy your family, your friends, and whatever it is that you do on Sunday. And we'll see you right here next week. Until
Take care,
then,
everybody.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.